We thought it was just detention. We were wrong. It was 9 p.m., and we were in Mr. Williams' class. Detention was supposed to end at 10, but the clock on the wall said 9:57, and we were still in there. I started tapping the window, my usual spot, but nothing happened. I tried the door. It was locked. Mr. Williams, Ashley whispered, "The door's locked." He looked up from his book and shrugged. "Weird," he said. Then the lights flickered, and we heard dragging in the hallway. "What was that?" Ashley asked, her voice an octave higher than normal. Mr. Williams stood up and walked to the door. "Probably just some kids being stupid," he said, opening it slowly. The hallway was dark, lit only by the emergency lights. "Stay in here," Mr. Williams told us. Then he was gone. Ashley and I looked at each other. She was scared, but I was furious. I stomped toward the door, flinging it open. "Stupid, stupid, stupid!" I yelled, racing down the hallway. The dragging sound was coming from the end of the hall. Whatever was making it was fast. I turned back to go to Mr. Williams' class, but the door was locked. I pounded on it, then slid down the door, burying my face in my hands. I could hear Ashley screaming in the next room. "I don't want to scare you, but this is a scary story. If you're scared, it means I'm doing my job. So far, so good." I raced down the hallway again, checking each classroom door. They were all locked. I found a janitor's closet and pushed the door open. There was a metal tray inside with cleaning supplies. I grabbed the largest one I could find and brought it with me as I continued to search for an exit. My heart was pounding. I could feel my blood rushing in my ears. As I rounded the corner, I saw a pair of sneakers under the lockers. They were warm. I don't mean they were recently worn. They were actually radiating heat. I don't know how I know that, but I do. The hair on my arms stood up, and I took a step back. The sneakers were a girl's. What? I recognized them. They were Jessica's. What? Jessica had been sitting right next to Ashley and Mr. Williams during detention. Where was she? And why were her shoes so hot? I wanted to ask those questions out loud, but I was afraid to attract whatever was lurking around the corner. I ran into another classroom. Maybe I could hide under one of the desks. Just then, the lights flickered again, and something slammed against the glass. I spun around. There was a tall, dark shape standing in the doorway. I couldn't make out its features, but it was definitely looking at me. I screamed and ran to hide, but the shape moved faster than me. It glided through the air, floating toward me. I could feel its eyes boring into the back of my head. Then it stopped. It wasn't moving anymore. I didn't dare turn around. What if it was a monster? What if it wanted to eat me? I waited for it to speak. It didn't. Then I heard it move again. It was moving away from me. Slowly, cautiously, I turned around and saw it disappear around the corner. I went back to the hallway. All of the lockers were closed now, but one was slightly ajar. I reached out and pushed it open. Inside was a pile of clothes. I pulled them out. They were Jessica's. And then I saw it, scratched into the metal. The word "stay." Just then, the school bell rang. Mr. Williams appeared in the doorway. "Hurry up," he said. "You're going to make us late?" But when I stepped out into the hall, he was gone. I was alone. The bell rang again. I raced to the front doors and flung them open. I was almost out when a hand clamped over my mouth. I screamed, kicking wildly. The hand tightened its grip and dragged me back. I turned around and saw a tall figure with a burlap sack over its head. Its eyes were black. It smiled and took a step closer. I screamed again. The last thing I remember is the creature's cold fingers wrapping around my neck and squeezing tight. The next morning, the school announced that 3 students and 1 teacher had vanished from their school. No trace, not a single sign that they ever existed. When the police searched the school, they found no evidence of a struggle. They concluded that the 4 had simply run away from home together. But I know the truth. I'm the only one who does. And I wish I could tell you that the school was haunted, that after I escaped, the place was torn down, that the tall figure with the burlap sack was never seen again. But that's not the case. If you ever get locked in your school at night, don't wait for the lights to go out.